Sorry.
No, go on.
Well, obviously I've had a lot of therapy because of my fuck shit syndrome.
Tourette's.
Sorry.
Tourette's syndrome.
People who have it, we don't call it that.
What do you call it?
Fuck shit syndrome. Nescafe.
Right, I see.
I mean, it's cost me my job and all. Dirty spunk.
Well, what is it you used to do?
Air traffic controller. Fuck.
What, really?
No, only kidding.
Okay. So why have you decided
Anchors.
to give
Prostitute.
therapy another go?
Well, I've just met this really gorgeous woman, and I can't stop thinking about fuck, phoning her up.
Oh dear, right.
But she says she won't go out with me unless I give up smoking.
Smoking?
Yeah, can you help?
Fuck me.
Don't you start.
Sorry. Have you ever told your father any of this?
Pardon?
Have you ever told your father any of that stuff?
No, I couldn't. We never really talked about anything, really. Well, except knots.
Knots?
Yeah, you know, sheep shank, Turk's head, double turl, running bowling. He tried to show me a bimini twist once. It's done my brain in.
Right. You never talked to him about any of...
No.
No, okay. Let's pretend that your father is sitting in this chair here.
There?
Yeah, let's pretend he's sitting there. Now, I'd like you to talk to him. I know it sounds a bit weird, but I'd like you to say to him all the things you'd really like to say.
Okay.
Okay?
Hello, Dad. It's Michael. Michael, your son.
Go on.
I just want to say that you never showed me any affection when I was a child. I don't want to hurt him, you know.
It's okay. He's strong.
You never spoke to me unless you were telling me to do something. You weren't really interested in me, and that's hurt me all my life, you know. I used to be frightened of you. Well, I'm not frightened of you no more.
Well done.
Thanks.
Yeah. Now, I'd like you... Are you okay?
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you something, right?
Yes?
That was spooky, because it was like he really was there.
Good. Now, I'd like you to sit here and let your father tell you how he feels about all that.
What, so I be him?
Yes, it's a little role-playing exercise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, son. Well, so... Sorry, what was it you asked me again?
Yeah.
Why you never liked me when I was a kid? Well, to be honest with you, son, you were a very unattractive child. And frankly, I found you a little bit irritating, actually. You all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Who's that? That's my therapist.
Don't worry about me.
Therapist? What do you want a bloody old therapist for?
Just ignore me.
What?
Just pretend I'm not here.
You want me to pretend that you're not here? How much are you paying him? Look, the reason I kept a decent distance from you when you was little was so you wouldn't find out my terrible secret. Secret? Can I ask him what it is?
If you like.
What secret, Dad? Well, son, when I was in the Merchant Navy, teaching knots on the island of Tortola, I come into possession of a document that bestowed upon me the crown of the ancient kingdom of Wessex. Crikey!
Right, yeah. Let's just...
Which means that you are the rightful heir to the throne. Don't gawp. Are you telling me, Dad, that I'm... God, this is crazy. I didn't know nothing about this. Are you telling me that I am the Crown Prince of Wessex?
No.
Yes, and if you take my advice, son, you won't waste your life building gazebos for rich people like I done.
What?
No, you'll raise an army forthwith and march on Cirencester to claim what's rightfully yours.
Okay, let's just stop.
You keep out of this is family. Right, come on, son, let's go down the pub and celebrate our good fortune. Sorry, that's my dad. Come on, son.
Just take your time.
What would you call something that's bothering you, but you wouldn't really regard as a neurosis?
Well, I suppose I'd call it an anxiety.
Oh, yes, that's good. I'm anxious about time.
There isn't enough time.
There isn't enough time, exactly. Or, to put it another way, there's too much on my plate.
Right. Spencer, what would you say are the things in your life that seem to compete for your time?
Well, apart from family and work, I would have to say that my first love is fishing. But there's a tremendous, time investment in the angling experience, Preparation of tackle, reading of publications, reading of the water, the act itself, the act of angling, and of course reflection afterwards. What I'm saying is you're not just standing there with a fly in your hat.
You like fishing, don't you?
I absolutely love it.
Yes, I can see that. What are the other things that vie for your time?
Ballroom dancing. Again, just a hobby, but at the highest level it demands an enormous time commitment.
Right. So if you had to make a decision between the two, if I was to hold a gun to your head...
Well, that's a novel therapeutic technique, Peter.
Yes, but if you had to choose between the two, which one would it be?
Oh, well, that really is a dilemma, I mean, I could be on the riverbank fishing, enjoying the evening rise and pondering my lovely new flies, and I'll think, I wish I was ballroom dancing. Conversely, I might be tossing a partner on the floor during a particularly difficult Latin exchange, and I'll think, I wish I was fishing.
Right. So your life really swings between two great loves. On the one hand, dancing, with its music, its rhythm, its controlled passion.
I like the costumes too.
And its costumes. And on the other hand, fishing, which is also a primitive experience. You're the hunter, you're at one with your environment.
I'm having a dialogue with nature.
You certainly are. So, dancing, fishing, dancing, fishing.
Yes, so much to do and so few hours in the day in which to pursue them.
Dancing, fishing, dancing.
It's a time management consideration, really.
Fishing, dancing, fishing, dancing, fishing, dancing, fishing, dancing, fishing, dancing, fishing.
It's not a big problem, really.
No, it is. So what sort of week have you had?
Can I just have a moment, please, Peter?
Of course.
Nice to be out of the cab, somewhere quiet like this, just enjoying the silence. Yeah, very noisy out there on the road today. Very, very noisy. Very noisy. Yes.
What's the traffic like?
Oh, there's a terrible snarl up in Chiswick, but yes.
Which strikes me that when you're stuck in a traffic jam, you do become very aware of how absolutely powerless you really are.
Yes. Rose died yesterday.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
That's awful.
Well, it's not that it was unexpected, but...
No, still, it's a terrible shock.
Yeah, the funny thing is that she seemed to be improving as well. And, she was dozing after lunch, and I was reading to her. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Are you familiar with it?
Yes, I've never actually read it.
Oh, you should. It's a lovely book. It's very romantic. Do you know that the library don't have a talking book version of it? Yes, and she loves a talking book, Rose. So I was reading it to her, and I got to the end of the chapter, and I looked up and I said, "Would you like a cup of tea, dear?" And I realised, that she'd slipped away. So, I mean, it was a very busy day then, you know, what with the doctor and my daughter, she's not taking it at all well, you know. And the undertaker and so forth, all the arrangements, you know.
Must be very tough.
Well, it's interesting, really, isn't it, that you should say that, Peter, because you were always the one who was telling me that Rose must be a bit of a burden, and how I should be more honest about how annoying it is having an invalid depending on you. I mean, you never actually met Rose, did you? But I get the impression that you didn't really like her very much.
No, Monty, I never said that.
Well, it's funny, isn't it, the things that you remember and the things that you don't, because, you know, if Rose had been how you painted her, a ruddy millstone round my neck, then you'd think that I'd be relieved to be shot of her, but I'm not actually, Peter, and to tell you the truth, frankly, I'm quite sad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was all go yesterday, and by about 9 o'clock I was alone in the house, you know, and I was absolutely shattered. You know, really very, very tired, and I thought, you know, I'll turn in now. And you know what? I filled 2 glasses of water and I took them upstairs to the bedroom, you know, one for me and one for Rose, you know, force of habit, I suppose. And you know what I did? I drank them both. Lovely, pure, clear, ice-cold water. I drank them both because, after all, you know, life is for living, isn't it, Peter? Peter? You all right? There you go.
Forgive me for saying this, don't take it the wrong way, it's just an observation, but do you feel you have a lot of unresolved anger?
Aye, there's a lot of anger about me.
Do you have any idea particularly what makes you angry?
Well, I've thought about it a lot, you know, and I know it's a cliche, right? That's the English.
The English?
Aye, the English. No, individually, you know, but collectively.
What is it about the English?
Everything.
No, what in particular?
What in particular? That.
Right, that makes you really angry.
I could batter you for just speaking, you know, right? So what do you suggest?
Well, move back to Scotland springs to mind, but I think for men like us, often we confuse manliness with anger. And I know when I kind of go off on one, you know, I often feel at my most virile. And I've... What? What? Let me in on the joke.
You're right, big man. Whoa.
I didn't understand what's funny.
Oh, wee bit too much testosterone there, you know.
Yes, but that's all right, because I think for men like us, it's also important, ironically, to get in touch with our feminine side.
No.
There's nothing to be frightened of.
Oh, yes, there is. I've seen my feminine side. I'm terrified of her.
Really?
Aye, she's a 6'5" docker's wife from Easterhouse, you know, with a pinny, curlers and a great big baseball bat with a nail in the end. You know, a bat, nail, the bat, you know, right?
You stay away from your feminine. What's on your mind at the moment?
Sorry?
You're thinking about fishing, aren't you?
Yes, I was. Are you reading my mind?
Not your mind, no. Dancing, fishing, dancing, fishing, dancing. Fishing, dancing. Fishing, dancing, fishing, dancing, fishing, dancing, dancing, dance. Fishing.
Yes, it's a dilemma.
I think we both became aware that there was something wrong with the relationship. And I blame myself, really, because for ages I don't think I was prepared to acknowledge quite how bad things had become. And I can't make any excuses as to why. I just didn't, just denial. And I feel quite guilty about that. And when it became so obvious that things were going downhill, that even I started to realise how much I was irritating him, you know, I thought to myself, you've got to do something about this, my girl. You don't want to lose your marriage. And that's when I started to try and find ways to improve myself. And I should have sought professional help there and then, but you know, it's so hard when you feel so ashamed to go and tell a stranger, and hello, I'm a failure as a wife. So I started to read self-help books, but they didn't really, I mean, they're very good books, and I don't think I could put the advice into practice. And also things, you know, like communication is very important, and not a lot of people realise that listening is as big a part of communication as talking. So I tried to do some active listening and really tried to hear what he was saying. And what I heard from what he was saying was that I was a disappointment to him. And, I mean, he's never said anything unkind to me, but I could tell, you know, from this new way of listening, that behind his words was just this disappointment. And that's when I suggested that we should come and see you. And I was very nervous about asking him, because I didn't want him to feel that I was blaming him for our difficulties. I just thought he'd find it easier to tell someone else where I was going wrong, without him worrying that he was hurting my feelings. I'm so sorry.
Right. Yeah. So, Frank, is there anything that you'd like to say?
Not really, no.
Sorry.
And, you know, not being able to sort of great deal of success, you know, in that department. And Miles said, well, why don't you do what I do, you know? And he got me some Rohypnol. It's a bloody waste of time. I just crashed out for 6 hours.
Peter,
Yes?
have you got a moment?
Sure, yes, of course.
I don't quite know how to say this. Obviously, while I've been working here, I've been watching you.
Have you?
Seeing how you are with people, how kind you are.
Oh, well,
And I should have said something ages ago.
Right.
Only, you know, it's difficult and also inappropriate while you're working for someone to stop blabbing out your personal feelings. And I know you're a very ethical person, and I just didn't want to do anything out of line.
I'm not very ethical, really.
Good. Good. I've got this boyfriend.
Oh, yes.
A hell of a temper.
Has he?
Yes. And things have been pretty rough for a while now, and things have kind of built to a head. And last night he started, and I finished with him.
Oh, God.
So it's been quite a difficult morning for me, really. You know, thoughts racing. Was it the right thing to do?
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Oh, it was, because everything's much clearer now.
Yes.
And I realised I should just come to you. And I feel such an idiot because I should have done this months ago.
No, you're not an idiot. You're a wonderful person.
You're so nice. If I can get him to come along, would you see us both? I mean, professionally, both of us together. Would you help us?
Oh.
Sorry. I shouldn't have asked. It's just, I'm sorry.
Of course I will. I'd be happy to.
My God, I thought, thank you so much. Can I just say, I think you're fantastic. Honestly, you're one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and I watch you helping people, and you're so patient. I just wanted it to be you.
Well, it is me. Thank you.
Right. I suppose I better go and make myself an appointment now.
Yes.
Of course we will pay you.
Yeah, okay, well, there's a staff discount.
Good.
Good. Bye.
So how are things going with Rebecca?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, really good.
Have you spoken to her?
Yeah.
Right, what did you say to her?
I finished with her.
What?
I finished with her. She's staying on as my receptionist. We're just going to be friends.
Right.
Yeah. She really likes me a lot.
Yeah. Listen, Peter, how would you like to come nude rock climbing with me and some German mates in the Peak District at the weekend?
Yeah, okay.
Great. Well, I think really, if it hadn't been for you, Peter, well, and Monty, of course, I don't think we'd have had the guts to give it another go. But anyway, look, I'll let her explain when she gets here, so I'm just a bit excited.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I have not been excited about anything for a long time.
Well, I'm happy for you.
So?
For both of you.
Yeah, I think what really helped was recommitting to the marriage, you know. I mean, we didn't go to church or anything, we just knelt down in front of the telly, you know. We looked into each other's eyes and said, here's looking at you.
Well, you were.
Yeah. But she felt, you know, it would be more meaningful if we had it witnessed by someone, and
of course.
Yeah, we couldn't think of anyone better than you, really, Peter.
Well, that's very nice of you. I feel a bit like a vicar.
Well, you are a bit like a vicar, really, aren't you? You know, you're kind, you're a bit misguided, and you're very uncomfortable around sex.
Thank you.
But, I mean, it's already... I mean, it's not, you know, like a second honeymoon or nothing, you know, but it's like the old days, you know. Anyway, I'll let her explain when she gets here.
But just for now, why don't you just try and describe it in your own words?
Chaos, really.
Really?
Yeah, it's fighting, shouting, orbital crockery, you know.
God.
Yeah. I mean, one minute we're screaming at each other, the next minute we're not talking. It's madness.
I'm sorry, it doesn't sound like I've been much help at all.
No, it's fine. I mean, that's what marriage is like, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we're lucky to have one at all. A lot of our friends are divorced.
Right.
She'll be here in a minute. I'll tell you what, let's give her a ring. That's a voicemail. Hello, babe. Yeah, I'm already here. We're waiting for you. Obviously, Peter's here as well. We'll see you in a minute, yeah? Okay, bye. She must be on the tube or something.
Yeah.
I'll come in the car today, so...
Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Pushing through the market square, so many mothers sighing. News had just come over. We had 5 years left of crying. David Bowie, it's Hunky Dory?
Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, Ziggy Stardust, yeah. And it was cold and it rained and I felt like an actor, and I thought of Ma and I wanted to get back there.
So what I want to explore with you today is why men like yourself feel a need to be violent towards women.
Not all women.
No?
Not just my wife.
Yes, and I'd like to put it to you that at some level you're actually frightened of her.
Well, I think I would have to agree with you there, Doctor, but you would be frightened of her too.
What, because she's very aggressive?
She's a very scary-looking woman.
Really?
Ugly, man.
Okay, okay.
I mean, she looks like Madonna.
Madonna?
Yeah.
The singer and actress?
No, Diego Madonna, the footballer and cocaine thug.
Oh, right.
And actually, before we go any further, I have got a bit of a bone to peel with you, right?
Okay.
Since that judge, right, in her stupid wisdom, right, is telling me that I'm a bad man for hitting my wife and I'm ignorant. I'm not ignorant, right? But I've been trying to better myself and my vocabularies, right? By reading from the wonderful array of English literature.
What?
Array. You know this word? Array? No, array. No, but array.
Yes, I know what you mean.
And I've been perusing this novel. You know what that means, right? That means reading a book.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I read this book called The Story of O. You know this?
Oh, yes, The Story of Earth, one of the great erotic novels, yes.
Well, I tell you, right? What they get up to in that book with that poor woman is make me look like a bloody saint.
Is it?
I mean, they shouldn't call it The Story of O.
No?
They should call it The Story of O, right? You know, they should call it The Story of Ow. They should call it The Story of ooh, ah, ooh, oh, ah, ooh. Actually, I quite like that.
Yes, actually, The Story of O is not English literature.
What do you mean?
It's French.
No, it's not French, right? I can't read French, and I've read this book. So there you go, and that's that, Mr. Big Potatoes.
My point is that I think you're reading it in translation.
I'm reading it in paperback. I think you are confusing it with the film,
What film?
Lost in Translation.
No. What I'm trying to say is that
Actually, I was going to say that because a friend of mine, he's got a dirty version of that film, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's called Lost in Translation, right? Apparently, right, there's this bit where there's two girls, right? And one of them is got a dodo, and you never guess where she pussy.
dildo.
A what?
A dodo is a bird.
Is it? Christ.
Yeah, and it's extinct.
Well, I'm not bloody surprised.
Gary, I don't think it's appropriate normally for a therapist to talk about his private life to his clients, but in the 5 minutes that we have left, I just want you to know that I know what you're going through, you know, how you're feeling.
No, she'll be here. She'll be here.
Sorry, babe.
Where the fuck have you been?
Stuck between stations. What have I missed?
I'm Steve Lemack, and